Let's talk about marriage, but not the flowers and the romance. No, today we're talking about what it really is in the eyes of the law, the single biggest financial merger of your entire life. Seriously, let's get into it. Imagine this for a second. You've poured a decade of your blood, sweat, and tears into building a successful company. Would you then turn around and sign a contract giving a brand new partner half of everything you've built and half of everything you will build in the future without even running a background check? Of course not. People would think you're absolutely insane, right? And yet, this is exactly what happens. Millions of people take this exact same high-stakes gamble every single year. They just call it something else, marriage. Now, look, this isn't about being cynical, not at all. It's about being smart. It's about understanding the contract you're actually signing. Because, when you say I do, it's not just some romantic gesture. You're actually triggering this whole cascade of laws that legally merges you into one economic unit. Your finances, they're now our finances. You are legally tied to their spending habits, their secret credit card debt, their student loans, for better or, well, for worse. So when that big merger goes south, financial ruin usually follows one of two paths. You've got the slow, painful bleed over decades. We'll call that the slow death. And then you have the sudden, catastrophic explosion, the sudden death. You know that old saying, opposites attract? Maybe that's true when you're picking a movie on a Friday night. But when it comes to your money, it's a recipe for absolute disaster. There's a better saying for that. In finance, opposites do not attract. They attack. Financial incompatibility isn't some cute little quirk you can work around. No, it's a destructive force in a relationship. Okay, let's look at the actual math of this slow death. Let's say you're a disciplined saver. You're putting away a solid $20,000 every year with a pretty standard 8% market return. In 30 years, you're looking at a nest egg of over $2.2 million. Not bad, right? But what if you marry a spender? Someone whose habits drag your household savings down to just $5,000 a year. Well, your future looks completely different. Suddenly, you're on track for about $560,000. And here's the kicker. That difference, that massive gap, it's like an invisible tax on your future. Let's call it the spender tax. You've just lost over $1.5 million in opportunity cost. And not because the market crashed, but because you had this parasitic drag on your ability to build wealth. It's like trying to win a boat race while your partner is literally drilling holes in the bottom of the boat. But hey, as bad as that sounds, it's nothing, and I mean nothing, compared to the sudden death, divorce. Look at the stats. A first marriage is basically a coin flip, a 50-50 shot. Think about that. No financial advisor on planet Earth would let you take a 50-50 risk with your money, but we do it with our entire lives without batting an eye. And what's crazy is just how systematic the wealth destruction of divorce really is. Let's walk through it. First, you take everything you built together, the house, the investments, everything, and you slice it right down the middle, 50-50. Okay, then you start subtracting. You've got tens of thousands in legal fees. Poof, gone. Then come the transaction costs, like that 6% realtor fee when you're forced to sell the house. By the time all the dust settles, you've often lost something like 65% of your total net worth. You're basically starting over, only you're a decade older. And it doesn't even stop there. For the higher earner, you've got alimony payments that can follow you for years, maybe even decades. Your past relationship literally becomes a long-term liability on your personal balance sheet. You're working, you're earning, but a chunk of that wealth isn't even yours to keep. Okay, that was a lot of doom and gloom, I get it, but here's the good news. You can absolutely de-risk this merger. It just means you have to treat it with the seriousness it actually deserves. So let's talk about building your financial defense. So, threat number one you have to de-risk is secrecy. Get this, a staggering 40% of Americans admit to what's called financial infidelity. That means lying about debt, hiding purchases, secret bank accounts. This is terrifying because in a marriage, their secret debt can become your legal problem. That is a massive hidden risk to take on. This is exactly why you must conduct some financial due diligence. Before you're even thinking about a ring, you need to have the money date. I'm serious. Open up the laptops. Show me your credit score. Show me your student loans. What are your credit card balances? I want to see your spending habits. You have to ask the hard questions. These aren't just little quirks, They reveal a person's deep-seated values around money. You can't build a stable future on a cracked financial foundation. And that brings us to the most misunderstood tool of all, the prenup. We've got to reframe this thing. People hear prenup and they think it's a plan to fail or it's unromantic. No, no, no. Think of it like an insurance policy for a high-stakes business venture. It forces you to define the terms of your partnership while you're still a team, while you still love each other. That's the most logical and, frankly, the most loving thing you can do for your future self.
All right, so if you get this right, if you actually do the work and successfully de-risk this merger, then marriage completely transforms. It goes from being the biggest financial risk of your life to the single greatest wealth hack that exists. Period.
Just look at the difference here. A bad merger? That's a parasitic drag on your money. It's constant friction, it's a recipe for mediocrity. But a good merger? That's economies of scale. It's built-in accountability. It's an unstoppable financial fortress. And the advantages are huge. All of a sudden, you're splitting your biggest costs, rent, utilities, you name it. You literally double your access to tax-advantaged retirement accounts. That's 2 401ks, 2 IRAs. And you've got a built-in accountability partner to keep you both on track when things get tough. 2 aligned people working towards one single goal. That is arguably the fastest path to building real wealth in America. So what does this all boil down to? It's this. You are choosing a co-founder for the most important startup of your life. So you better choose wisely. Okay, so here's your action plan, your next move. If you're single right now, you need to add financial literacy to your list of absolute deal breakers, non-negotiable. If you're dating someone, it's time to have the money talk. A great question to ask is simply, what does wealth mean to you? Their answer will tell you everything you need to know. And if you're already married to a spender, it is time for an intervention. You need to act now. Look into separating finances, a yours, mine, and ours system, and automate your savings to build some guardrails and protect your shared future. And I want to leave you with this thought. You have to treat this decision with the respect it deserves. Do the due diligence, have the awkward conversations. Because a broken heart heals, but a broken retirement account, that lasts forever.